I said the two keys really to success in the practice are being interested in what you're doing and enjoying it. If you just think about being interested, it's like the body lightens up, our spines elongate, or even our head kind of sometimes turns sideways, like, oh, what's that all about? What's that meowing? There's interest in what's going on around us. So if we can kind of bring that same attitude towards just the beginning of the meditation, just paying attention to the body, being bright, being open. I don't know if you knew this, but the theme for today is probably going to be loving kindness, metta meditation. And I've been jokingly saying the title of this is Why I Hate Doing Loving Kindness Meditation. And that's what the Dhamma Talk is going to probably focus on. And I think it's partly just because of the translation of the word metta is loving kindness. I heard Thanissaro Bhikkhu at Wat Metta translates it as goodwill, which I think is, we can do that. We can have good intentions. We can have the intention to be kind, to be gentle, but we can't always be loving. But we can, even with somebody we consider to be difficult and hard to be around, we can still be gentle and kind to someone like that, or to our own attitudes, our own thoughts and beliefs. We can be kind with those. And so there's many, many, many different ways you can do metta meditation. One way I learned how to do it when I first started doing it, and I've liked this method, so I do this, is to have phrases. And they can be whatever phrases that you want to use if you want to do this. But the ones I've just started with, and I've always liked them, is just repeating the phrase, may I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. And may I live with ease of well-being. And the first time I did this, it was like a 10-day retreat. And it was one of the very first retreats I'd ever done. I remember being frustrated because I couldn't remember those 4 phrases. I'd be like halfway through, I'm like, now what's the next one? And somebody asked, I think it was Michelle McDonald was teaching it, and she said, well, just write them on a piece of paper and put them in front of you. And so I encourage you to do that if you find that helpful, just having the phrases right in front of you. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. And may I live with ease of well-being. And you can spend the entire 20 minutes just sort of going through these phrases. And at one level, it's a mindfulness practice, just remembering what those phrases are and remembering to bring your attention to that. And the mind might wander off. You might hear the cat coming up to you, demanding to be pet. And then you just go back. And you be safe. And you be happy. And you be healthy. And you live with ease of well-being. And eventually, the way I use this practice is, I like this meditation in that it uses the mind. You're actually using your creativity, you're using your imagination. And so what you can do is just even take one of those phrases if it feels comfortable, if you like one of those phrases. And I start asking questions. It's like, this is how you learn how to contemplate things. So you're asking the question, like, when I say, may I be safe, what does that mean? What does it mean to be safe? When was the last time that you felt safe? I mean, really bring up a real situation where that happened. Or it might even be being safe, like, what would need to be different in your life if you were safe, to be safe. So So you're really bringing it into your body. It's a very visceral. You're actually feeling it. And it might be, happy. What was it? Might be an easier meditation. Just when was the last time you really felt happy? When was the last time you had that joy? And so you can bring that into your body. Like where? And other questions can be like, well, where do you feel that? Do you feel it in your chest, or do you feel it in your stomach, or feel it in your hands? And so just asking these questions. It's part of contemplation, part of interest. In the practice, if you've never done loving kindness practice before, or if you have, it's usually we start off with, they say, doing the practice geared towards the easiest subject. And in Asian cultures, that tends to be yourself. In the West, sometimes people have a lot of aversion towards ourselves, and so it can be hard to send ourselves kindness, thoughts of goodwill. So then you can find someone like a good friend, or someone who's a teacher to you, who you have a lot of respect for. Could be one of your parents, or just, and sometimes people even have to start off with something like Teddy the cat. You can just send thoughts of goodwill towards the cat, or even an inanimate object, like a teddy bear or something like that. So just whatever for you feels like something that would be easy to have kindness towards. And again, it's like using the imagination. So if you are using a friend or a pet, like if you're saying, using the phrase, may you be happy. Sometimes it can be happy just to imagine, like maybe something about them that does bring them joy. And so you can imagine them doing that activity. I think it's important to really kind of try to feel that, like the joy and the happiness in the body, just knowing what it feels like. But then with concentration, it's almost like holding a bowl of water. You can imagine having a bowl of water, just kind of like the size of a breakfast cereal bowl, and it's completely filled to the brim with a liquid, say water. And the care that you need to hold that, it takes concentration, it takes effort to hold it. And just imagine like holding it in front of your heart. And these thoughts that we're saying, may my friend be safe. May my friend be happy. May they be healthy. May they live with ease. Just imagine that the care and the concentration you need to be able to keep those thoughts in mind is the same as holding that bowl. You can almost imagine yourself putting those thoughts into the bowl, into the water. You don't want to spill it, but you don't want to be tense either. So it's just this nice, gentle, relaxed concentration. And if you develop this kind of meditation over a long period of time, I noticed that each of those different phrases has a completely different emotional feeling to me. So when I say the word safe, that has a very comfortable feeling to it. But to be happy is slightly different, but it's also essential and appropriate. And to be healthy, physical health and mental health. And then to live with ease of well-being. It has a soothing, kind of healing property to it. And over time, if you've developed, say, these kind of qualities and phrases, you can actually just bring them up at will. If you've developed it strong enough in a meditation, it can be a situation where there might be a little bit of danger or a little bit of anxiety, like if you're going in for a job interview or having to say something to a friend that may be a little bit unpleasant. And Ajahn Sona likes to phrase it of practicing the emotion we want to be in. Like if we have to say something to somebody or be in a situation, it's not practicing what we want to say, but it's practicing the mood we want to be in. And so metta meditation can be like that. And the more we can turn our attention to that, so really knowing what it is to be happy or to be safe, to live with ease, to be healthy. And we can tune into those more easily when we really need to have those emotions. So we just sit for another 10 minutes, and if you just want to, however it feels comfortable to you,